Hard work. Hard work. Hard work. Hard work. Work. There you go.
Forward.
Hard work. Hard work. Hard work. Hard work. Hard work. Work. There you go.
Forward.
Hard work. Hard work. Hard work. Hard work. Hard work. Work. There you go.
Forward.
Hard work. Hard work. Hard work.
Fall in.
Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. Y'all know what it is. It's me, your boy Trey, and y'all rocking with E2G Sports Network presents First Formation Morning Sports Talk. So come on and fall in with us this morning as we get to it, talking about some of the things that went on in the sports world over in the last 24 hours. NBA, NFL, MLB, MLS. It doesn't make a difference. NHLs, NCAA, in football, NCAA basketball, women's or men's. We got what you need right here. Got all my five. What's good? What's good? Lestat, what's going on, bro? How you doing, sir? Glad to have you in formation this morning. Up and early, I see. Yeah, like I say, a couple of things going on in the last 24 hours here and there, or just some stuff to cover over back that to re-engage with over the course of the last 24 hours. Where do I start? First and foremost, I would be remiss if I didn't start here. As yesterday, the 1 hours late yesterday, the college football and USC Trojan lost a real one yesterday as Charles White, 1979 Heisman Trophy winner, succumbed to his battle with cancer in Newport News, Newport Beach, California yesterday. Of course, Charles White was won the national championship with the Trojans, won the 1979 Heisman Trophy after winning that championship. He leads, even to this day, leads the USC Trojans with over 6,200 yards rushing in for the school, at which is known as tailback U for the most part. He was only 64 years old, so even still young in some aspect. And he's survived by his wife, 5 children, and granddaughter at the end of this. So, of course, Charles White, and I was just talking about Charles. He's one of 8. USC has 8, counting them off. 8 Heisman Trophy winners, which is a record for any school that has a brother in the Heisman Trophy Trust. He was the third of 8. Of course, we know Caleb Williams being the last Heisman Trophy winner. He was third of 8. So of course, tailback U is what USC is known for. Marcus Allen, Charles White, Reggie Bush, O.J. Simpson. We have them. So it's unfortunate passing. Charles White passes at the age of 64 after a lost battle with cancer. So in other lighter things, if not even putting it in the perspective of a particular sport or a genre or a segment, how we usually do, Darwin Hammond was released yesterday from care at the hospital. He was transported from Cincinnati, in which he was transported to Buffalo General, in which he was watched over. There was a team put together with the key of ensuring that doing all pathological tests and everything, running all the tests to ensure that he was all the bases was covered for the most part. Put together a recovery plan for him, and everything. So now After spending 9 or 10 days, I'm sorry, in the hospital, he is back at home. His parents and his brother are there. Of course, he wasn't able to see his brother for of course medical reasons, trying to control the spread of any flus or RVSs in the situation. So definitely, what I'm saying, that's what's up. Definitely tailor made or was standing glad to see that he's back home. And so of course what is left up to Coach McDermott, head coach of the Buffalo Bills, stated that he would allow uh, Mr. Hamlin for him the opportunity to come back when he is ready. They're not going to rush him. They're not going to put him on a time frame. He has full reign when he's ready to come back to the facility. Let me not mix those words. To come back to the facility. I'm not saying that he's going to come back to the team and suit up again, but he would allow him to come back to the facility when he is ready. Has all his strength about himself where he can come back and be into the facility. Or they already did him one from usually what happens when a player goes on the IR, especially after the season has been before the season ended, there at least half the pay for that year is forfeited. In which Darvin Ham was given the opportunity, the NFLPA, as well as the NFL and the Buffalo Bills, were able to come to an agreement to where they are going to pay Hamlin his whole uh, salary. So he gets all of his salary, $3 million. I think he was 4 years, $3 million on his contract, in which he's going to be guaranteed all of that. So that's great. Gracious. I would like to see it as being a gracious gesture, not just a PR move or something like that. Like feeling that that's done off genuine, as opposed to just because it was in the news. Additionally, what I didn't know or hadn't known before is, um, one second. Excuse me. Let me pull it back up. Bear with me 1 second. Oh my goodness, where is it at? 1 second, so I can make sure. All right. So additionally, what happened, which I guess got overshadowed by all the situations going on with Darman Hamlin and everything when it comes to the NFL world, is there's another NFL player that has been in the news to an extent that is also or has been also fighting for his life. Um, if you don't know, if you pay attention or a football savant, I guess like that, pro football savant, when you take Peyton Hillis, think about 2010, graced the cover of a Madden franchise football game in which Peyton Hillis has been in the ICU since 6 January as he was, I guess you could say, injured or had an accident, a swimming accident. From what has been said, that he was out at Pensacola and his children were drowning and he went out to save his children, and in the process, he got injured. Currently, he suffers from lung and kidney damage, and has been on a ventilator. Now he's starting to get better. He's currently off the ventilator and having a road to recovery, but it completely got swallowed up. You know what I'm saying? Like these Peyton Hillis is no longer an active player, 43 years old, but he was a player for he's actually 5 teams, but his biggest efforts were in Cleveland in 2009 or 2010, where he rushed for 1,100 yards in the season. And he came back the next year and rushed for 700 yards. So he was their premier running back in Cleveland for like 2 years. Um, and then he ended up leaving. He played 7 or 8 years in the NFL, out of Arkansas. Went to the University of Arkansas. But yeah, he's been fighting for his life as well. Having to do with that, um, from a swimming accident in reference to saving his kids. But it's just interesting how some things matter, other things don't, or things get swallowed up. Uh, so I didn't say that. Like, he was a big dude. I'll give you that, Anthony Price. He was a big dude. He still even looks like a big dude. But I'm not sure. Like I said, the ailment is that he has he had lung and kidney failure. Um, I guess taking on a lot of water as he saved his children. There was someone else, I guess, that went out to try to save them. Interesting enough, it's the adults that had all the issues. They said his children was fine. He was in Pensacola. He had to be airlifted. They had a they I think also what had happened is during the resuscitation for CPR, he had there was complications because they have if you go to like TMZ, you will see they have it to where even still pictures to where they were trying to revive him on the beach, and they finally did. But some of the issue is that they had to wait a while. It took a while for the ambulances and to get to him, in which they finally just went ahead and brought in the chopper, parked the chopper, transported him to the chopper, and got him off, and got him to the hospital, in which he's been in the hospital since for the last week, I believe. So, of course, like Shannon says, that's prayers, saying, going up just in any case. You never want to hear anyone perish from something like that. And in this case, allegedly, he was saving his children who were presumed to be drowning. The children are okay. The other person that assisted in it is okay. It's just Peyton Hillis that is currently still in the hospital in ICU. Um, Removed from the ventilator yesterday, in which he's so of course that means he's starting to breathe on his own. But of course, it remains to be seen what is going to come out of there. So another story in any case when it comes to people and things going on. So where are we at? Where are we at? Hey, my fault, Anthony. What's good with you, fam? What's going on this morning, brother? Glad to have your information. Glad to see you there. Up and at 'em. So yeah, so we have that Charles White, unfortunate situation. Peyton Hillis, unfortunate situation. Very gracious, unfortunate situation. Darman Hammond back at home. Um, Probably to see him at some point on the sideline um, during his team's run. During his team's run, as they get ready, they get geared up and ready to start their playoff run. Uh, so we all for it. Of course, more to talk about that when we get to the NFL topic and situation. But let's start here, right? I actually wanted to see if we was gonna get a few more people because this is definitely a conversation segment or piece to be had. Um, but have y'all heard or witnessed the conversation or the situation that's going on with the UFC CEO president Dana White? So, of course, over the course of the New Year's, uh, Dana White was in Mexico for, I guess, the New Year's celebration, in which it was himself, and his wife that were present there, and it was caught. You got to keep your head on the swivel. Paparazzis is everywhere, so almost when you're a person of notoriety, you've got to be cautious. Or anyone, like saying, anyone is looking to get exposed for that most part. It's people who we don't know go viral. So in this case, Dana White has been start peaking in a little bit viral as he was caught on camera smacking his wife in what is a physical altercation. Like when you look at the tape, you see that Dana White is obviously they're having a conversation. His wife seamlessly smacks him, and then he like swings back at her, and like he seems to like he slaps her, and then goes around and swings again to smack her again, and then like they're separated, or he separates himself for her, or they saying, or she walks away seemingly, and he's still standing there, and like they're probably talking uh over the music and over whomever's there in the area with them. So of course that was caught on tape and brought to light. With that being said and done, what ends up happening is now, of course, questions and things are being put forth for Dana White. Yesterday, it was an impromptu interview due to the fact that there's supposed to be a fight this weekend, or like a UFC fights that's coming up. And so he said there's been talks already. Like he's been engaging with his primary business partners, that being ESPN, additionally also Endeavor, and the parent company for USC, and then of course TBS, who are the broadcasters and partners with him for Dana White's Power Slap League. Of course, ESPN, we already know, pushes everything. So he's like, those conversations have had to be conversations which he has had, where he's like, basically, no one is. He's like, everyone's upset about this. No one see up. He even goes on, and I quote, he says one thing. So why has money in the CEO? You'll see who's going to brush it away. And so that would be the rhetoric. And for what I see is, what we would look at, if we're going to talk a little bit in depth, Anthony, is that he's trying to take ownership, right? So him taking ownership may not necessarily mean that he's genuine in what he's doing, but he's trying to take ownership. He's engaging. He's trying to take the ownership for the situation, which he's basically talking about. And I quote, one thing I do want to clarify in this thing is that I didn't talk about, because he was taught by TMZ. He spoke with TMZ. I didn't talk about it with TMZ because I didn't expect it, or I didn't see it coming. Is the people that are defending me. He wants people to stop defending him. There's never an excuse. There's no defense for this, and people should not be defending me, no matter what. All the criticism I received this week is 100% warranted. So that's the first quote which you put out, direct quote from him during his interview. But what you say, Donovan? No different than Ray Rice, but they will just make him apologize and pay a fine, or make him just sell the UFC. So I think selling the UFC is a little too presumptuous. I don't think that's going to be it for that fact of the matter. So it's a little bit deeper than that. Taylor May, Lasantin. So his repercussions can be made. Honestly, when you think about it, because the cancel culture is real. We all know this. But there is a caucus, Donovan, as you was just talking about. There is a caucus out of California, a women's caucus that is asking for Dana White to be removed from the U.S. from being the CEO or president of the UFC. So there are people calling for his head. So, but like we were saying, going back. So domestic violence is domestic violence, but I get where you're going with that, Anthony. But it's definitely one of those situations where we don't want to get into the point of, if one thing was more violent or more more aggressive than the other, but there is a difference there. Like that slap, in which, if you go and you look it up and see it from TMZ, the slap, you know what I'm saying, was one that in correlation to what Ray Rice did. There's definitely a separation in aggression for the most part. But I mean, is it a situation to where is this something that happens on the usual and just happens to be called on tape this time? Like, those some things that you can go from. What Dana White says is something that happened and would never happen again. He even goes on further in the quote and says, "What should the repercussions be?" So this goes back to what we was just talking about just a few minutes ago, about what should the repercussions be. Where should we go with this? Like, you know what I'm saying? Which he's asking a question. But as we talk further into this quote, you'll see where it was going. He basically said, what should the repercussions be? I take 30 days off. How does that hurt me? I told you guys we're going through COVID. It could last 10 years, and I could sit out. And I could sit it out. It's much like COVID, actually. Me leaving hurts the company, hurts my employees, hurts the fighters, doesn't hurt me. I could have left in 2016 when the company was acquired by Endeavor. Do I need to reflect? I've been against this. I've owned this. I'm telling you that I'm wrong. So that's what he's basically coming up with. It doesn't hurt him to leave. Basically, he's good if he has to leave. One thing he's definitely leaving is a future for the most part because he's good right now as it goes from what I'm pulling from the situation. And then he goes further and say, "Here's my punishment. I have to walk around for however long I live, and this is how I'm labeled now, basically as a domestic abuser. My other punishment is that I'm sure a lot of people, whether it be media, fighters, friends, acquaintances, who have respect for me might not have the respect for me now. There's a lot of things I have to deal with the rest of my life that's the rest of my life that's more way more a punishment than what I take for 30 days or 60 days absence." Um, so oh, let's see. Hold on before I go further. Taylor May with I don't see him being removed from his position too much of a cash cow. I really don't see anything other than that he decides to do for himself: therapy, treatment, embarrassment. So definitely, that's what he's saying, embarrassment. But again, is it in genuine or is it just a situation to where it's not genuine? It's saying all for the love of the camera and to sit up and bring people in. He goes further and says you don't bounce back from this. For the rest of my life, people will label me that I did it. So he's all going forth and saying even further that you don't bounce back from this. You're not able to come back from a situation like this. There's not many domestic violence abusers that we see. Well, there are, honestly. I ain't gonna even hold you. There are people who have basically been caught or spoken about or talked to in reference of domestic violence and have been caught, men and women that have, kind of like it was dealt with, it was seen, it was dealt with, and it can't. And now we have, of course, Dana White, who's now in those crosshairs in reference to this, in which he's Dana White. The UFC is a cash cow, as Lestandon was just saying. But I don't think that's gonna. I think it's definitely like domestic violence, disrespect to the LGBTQ plus community, children, um, and um, and things of retro like rape. Those are things that you don't come back from, honestly. But I don't know if this one is going to be enough. I think this is going to be a socially driven situation to where if we see a removal from power, Dana White or whatever case might be, or a debacle in the UFC because of Dana White because he refuses to step down, is going to be would be the situation. Now, in this point, like you said, Endeavor is currently holds the UFC as he sold them and kept him on, but he as CEO and president of the UFC, but Endeavor is now the parent company for the UFC. So if it starts to get out, this, in my opinion, is a power play for Endeavor to go ahead and be like, "Yo, we want to move him out, fam. Like, hey, we got to run you." It's unfortunate, you know what I'm saying? You put this in this situation, but this is what has to be done to have someone else to come in and take over, oversee, or do it like that. This could be a power move for them to be able to push him out, depending on whatever their the stipulations are. Of course, like you said, you got Endeavor, TBS, and ESPN. Two of those three are conglomerates, or a part of a conglomerate. In which is like, what's to be done? Like TBS and ESPN, those are uh, multi-million dollar media companies, and you're basically putting a stain on that. And so, like I said, it's a women's caucus in California that's asking him to be removed. When they start applying pressure, who's going to answer for that? Like, if they sit up and start talking about, "Hey, we want to see this," or ESPN boycott ESPN, boycott TBS, ratings is the reason why these organizations get these huge contracts or pay for these rights deals. Then have that money to do that brings it in. They start injecting it with the commercials and the programming and all that type of stuff. Those things are cash cows, and usually no one's going to allow anything to sit up and stand in the middle of that. So maybe there does, if people start to stand on enough desks and beat on doors and stand outside buildings with enough yelling, he's going to have to answer to that. And it's going to be a situation where he's going to have to step down. No different than Sauber from the Phoenix Suns. Think about it. He was on some I'm not going anywhere type stuff. And then next thing you know, you blink his eyes, he's talking about they're in the process of selling the organization. No different from the young man Anthony in Washington. He was on some. He's been on some stuff talking about. I'm not going anywhere. We're not selling anything. I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying in Washington. They start applying pressure. It started coming out more and more and more and more. Now look where he's at. Now where he at. He's possibly going to be selling the team. So you know what I'm saying. You say one thing, but you know what I'm saying. Powers that be, everyone has a boss. No matter what, you can say what you want. I don't give a damn what you think. Everyone has a boss. Ain't no one safe. Everyone. That same thing. Think about Vince McMahon. Same thing. But you know what I'm saying? You look exactly right. Same thing. Vince McMahon. And now even his daughter is getting ready to step down. So it's like, and that's a power. That's another power. WWE. Like it's like you. Everyone got a boss. Everyone got an answer to somebody. I don't give a damn what you sit up and think. We say what we say. You know, even if you sit up and take it, there's a higher power that we all answer to. Everyone has a boss, and that boss, when it comes time, the boss is going to make you atone for whatever you've done to sit up and to dishonor or put a stand on what it is that they put forth. And it's unfortunate. So I think you're saying I was on some. Maybe he isn't going nowhere, but I think if smolders, it starts. It's right now is at a small smolder. Yes, bosses is that part. It's always that bosses are the board, and if you know what I'm saying, and business is saying savage. Business, if people who are businesses are savages, and when it comes down to it, sometimes you got to start looking at taking attention to what you done did, who you done did this to, and they start looking at this as a way to sit up and get you if it was that, and then you're going to get got. It starts coming, and when that like my man say, if you watch BMF um, when they cut your water off, when they come to cut your water off, it's a wrap. He still has stock in UCF. True that, Lashana. I completely. You're right. That like we just talked about that money, but it starts to moves could be made to where you have to sit up and look at that. So I mean, yes, he has stock. He's going to continue to get paid. But as he was saying, he's UCF. He feels like he's UCF, UFC. I'm sorry. He feels like he's UFC. Him removing himself damages the brand of what he was saying. So that's the conversation which he's having. Like he's not removing himself, but maybe he does have to remove himself. Or then you know what I'm saying, they start to look at maybe to get an opportunity for someone else to come into play and be like, you know what, this is your opportunity. Rogan, or he gets put up. You know what I'm saying? Anyone. It's other people who are in the organization who may be willing to step and be like, yo, if you get rid of him, I'm willing to step in and all that type of stuff. Like the blood is in the water at this point. And we're going to see how it comes out, how it starts to play out. But when I look at it and see it now, I think he might be in a little trouble. It might be, of course, his wife isn't saying anything. I don't think she's came out and said, okay, you know, saying this is a regular, he beats me all the time, or we have these altercations all the time, or anything like that. But it's the power. Yeah, and that part, Endeavor owns the company. He's just at this point, he's a figurehead. They left him on. Probably they purchased it so they could set up and reap the benefits. But he's just a figurehead at this point that keeps it going. And you're saying he probably has creative uh, anomaly and had creative immunity and all that type of stuff to where he was able to make some moves and he powered. But now he got to answer to these individuals. A lot of stuff is at stake at this point. ESPN has to worry about if people start talking about and them have to be seen as, okay, you support this because you still a lot playing UFC fights and all this type of stuff. Pay-per-views is going to do what they're going to do. Like that's going to be it. But or they have a whole bunch of different income streams. They got shows and stuff like that it hurts a lot of people's brand for the most part. Hell, look at Bellator and stuff like that. Like at this point, this is blood in the water, in my opinion. And we're gonna see what happens. Like the brand is a brand for the most part. If you could take me and flip it, a lot of people tend to do things and rerun it, run it back. Hell, think about it with this podcast and stuff. There's so many of them out there. Some people take the others more others than you can. It's a grind, and this is what it is. So it, I just don't think it's just that simple. It's definitely a point to where I think he's going to have to atone for some stuff. And what he's saying could be genuine because he's saying, what is it that happens? What can you do? Honestly, that's a personal thing for him to say that I have to continue to go through this and live through this. And I have to deal with this for life. That is facts. True. But that don't mean you safe, or that don't mean that's a punishment, fam. Like, you know what I'm saying? Who you think you fooling with that? My opinion, strictly my opinion only. But that's basically what it comes out to. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm a big person on paying attention and stuff. Like I'm a marketer, and some of that comes with PA, public affairs and stuff like that. From a public affairs standpoint, you came on and said what you needed to say. Is that genuine? We don't know. Time will tell, maybe. Uh, But to say that that's my punishment, that is not a punishment at all, in my opinion. My opinion, to sit up and talk about, oh, I did this, or, you know what I'm saying, I had to live with this. Those are facts, fam. That's not a punishment. You have to look at it and see whether or not your counterparts and, like you said, colleagues and everyone else, if they feel that you're respected. Hell, you had some people that didn't respect you to begin with anyway. So now that just gives them fire. So all that can miss me, in my opinion. My opinion only. To where that be the case. But in any case, he did come out. He's in front of it, or he's standing tall in front of it and engaging it. He's not running. He's taking responsibility and accountability for the situation. And basically, that's where it's at. So we'll see in the coming days what's going on. I'm very sure there's gonna be more conversations with him and those ESPN, TBS, and all that type of stuff, and see where it goes from there. So hell, even more so, his what needs to be worked on is the family life. Like that's where it needs to be. Things need to be talked about and engaged for the most part. So, but in any case, let's keep it going, keep it going, keep it moving. Yeah, keep it moving. So NBA. Let's get to this NBA topic talking. So, of course, like we said yesterday, we discussed and talked about there were some games that were being played last night. Um, Six, I think eight to be exact. Um, yeah, eight games we had last night. First and foremost, the Washington Wizards hosted the Chicago Bulls. Anthony, you a Wizards fan, right? Is that your squad? They hosted the Chicago Bulls, in which the Wizards got the dub, 197 3-point win. Um, in that game, the Bulls were led by Zach LaVine's 38 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 13 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist from Kobe White. Nikola Vucevic contributed with a double-double, 15 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, 8 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists from Ayala Demonsu. It was a game in which, of course, we didn't see anything from DeMar DeRozan as he didn't play. Alex Caruso didn't play. It's all right, bro. It's all right. It's okay. It's all right. It's all right. It's okay. Uh, it's cool. Uh, Andre Drummond, 8 points. Y'all got the win last night too, so it's cool. It's cool, bro. Andre Drummond, 8 points. A correction, 8 minutes to play. 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 6 points, 6 rebounds from Patrick Williams. Caruso, as I was just saying, 6 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. Derek Jones, 7 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists in their loss. Kyle Kuzma led the field for the Washington Wizards with 21 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 17 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists from Monte Morris. You had 18 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist. Anthony Gill, 10 points for Ryo Hachimura. Taj Gibson, 9 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists. And Corey Kispert with 6 points, 2 assists, and 3 rebounds in the win. pretty close throughout. Although the Wizards did blow it open with a 20-point score, 20-point quarter as they scored a 20-point outscoring in the third quarter as they outscored 41 points in the third quarter. 2 to 21 points for the Chicago Bulls. So definitely that's what turned it around. Before that, the Bulls was basically coasting. They scored 29 in the first, 30 in the second, and 21 in the third. But like I said, Washington blew it open in the third quarter and kind of like walked it in from there and just basically kept pace to get the 3-point win last night. So with that, the Washington Wizards improved to 18-24, just 6 games from 500, in which Chicago falls 4 games under 500 at 19-23 on the year. Also, additionally, the Minnesota Timberwolves were hosted by the Detroit Pistons, in which the home team once again gets the W. Pistons getting the 135-118 blowout over the Minnesota Timberwolves. Timberwolves were led by Anthony Edwards, 20 points, 1 rebound, 6 assists to go along with that. 19 points, 2 rebounds, 5 assists from D'Angelo Russell. 16 points, 14 rebounds from Rudy Gobert with a double-double. Also, additionally, 8 points apiece from Matt Ryan, Julian Noel, and Naz Reid. 8 rebounds from Naz Reid. Teron Prince with 9 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and Austin Rivers, 8 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. For the Pistons, of course, Sadiq Bey led the field with 31 points, 6 rebounds, 1 assist. Bonjan Bogdanovic, 27 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 18 points from 3 players. Jaden Ivey, Killian Hayes, and Hamidou Diallo, 18 points apiece, 13 points Alec Burks. Isaiah Livers contributed with 3 points, and Kevin Knox III with 5 as the Detroit Pistons get yet another win. 12 going to 12-33 on the year as the Timberwolves drop to 20-22. What's good, fam? What's going on, bro?
What up, WGO, WGO? What's going on, y'all? What's good? What's good? What's good?
Nothing much. In this NBA.
Oh yeah. Big NBA games last night, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, it was. Another one, of course, the New Orleans Pelicans traveled to Boston to take on the Boston Celtics. In which, of course, it was a game in which they were still without Zion, as he's currently sitting out due to the hamstring strain issue. But you know, saying it didn't go long. CJ McCollum dropped 38, 4 rebounds for 4 assists. 13 points from 4 rebounds, 2 assists from Jonas Valanciunas. Trey Murphy contributed with 15.6 rebounds, 1 assist. Najee Marshall, 18 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists. Alvarado with 9 points, 2 points from Devontae Graham, and 8 points from Jackson Hayes. But, of course, it wasn't enough. What's good, sis? What's going on, Kanique? Glad to have you information.
What's well, T.
Yes, TT. In which, of course, everything. Additionally, it wasn't enough as Jaylen Brown, 41 points, 12 rebounds on the night, 40 point double-double. Of course, Jason Tatum contributed his own 31 points, 10 rebounds in his 30-point double-double. Currently, the Boston Celtics duo sits as the tie for 7th with a duo on a team that scores 30 points apiece, in which they have done it 7 times at this point. And this season, you foresee it going on. The other team in which did it or did it 7 times was Steph Curry and Kevin Durant, in which they don't play together anymore. Boston Celtics players do.
That was the NBA championship time when they did it, though, right? That was NBA championship.
I think so. It might have been. So it's just one of those things. So of course, with that being said, we can probably see that they're going to probably eclipse that by all means, because them guys fill it up real quick. 14 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists from Al Horford. 20 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists from Malcolm Brogdon. As I'm going through and look at this, the Boston is going to probably be a problem, bro.
Probably. I don't even know why that's even questionable, bro. I told you Boston was gonna be a problem. Them boys they the real deal. I know you going off of what they did last year, how they kind of sucked in the, you know,
at
yeah,
towards, but yeah,
yeah,
they might be a problem.
yeah. They continue to play together, so that chemistry gonna steady build. Brown, Jalen, him, and Tatum, that chemistry is steadily gonna build, bro. Steadily gonna build. Look, them boys, and then them boys is finna be them boys. Don't get me wrong, that was a Pelicans team without Zion. But still, these boys look. Woo,
Oh my goodness,
oh, they got him with the hezzy, bro. Like these boys are gonna be something real deal, man. I ain't gonna front. They gonna beat them. They gonna beat them dudes, man. They
with
gonna
the
definitely
win,
be in the. They definitely gonna be
you
probably.
think finals? You think they're a finals team?
I don't know finals because to put them
They're
in the
playoffs.
finals.
They're definitely going to the
Oh yeah,
playoffs.
they
Second
definitely going to
round,
playoffs.
second
Yeah,
round.
yeah, they definitely going in the playoffs. To be in the finals, that means they would have to beat my beloved, Nets, and I don't see that happening. But however, it is what it is. These boys they gonna make some things happen. They and Jaylen Brown, bro, look how deep he is.
Jalen Brown is a problem too.
Ooh, good Lord, that was Steph deep. That was Steph Curry deep, bro. Take a look. He almost by the circle. He's
Oh
one
yeah,
step away
but
from the circle, bro. That's Steph Curry deep, bro. Bruh, they gonna be problems. Oh, bruh. I'm just saying.
another game, of course, last night. Oh, this is Anthony was saying that Brooklyn, if they add a player, they're going to be a problem too.
I don't even think we really need a player to add, man. I don't think so.
I
Like
need
what?
somebody.
For why? Why do we need an extra body?
Someone want to come off the bench. There's nothing wrong with having a
Oh,
bench.
somebody coming off the
Yeah,
bench.
I'm not saying someone to start in the just
Oh
like
yeah,
he said. I
we
think
could probably use. Yeah, we
I
could
think that's where we go. A lot of times we always think about someone to go with, but technically you don't need someone to go with everybody. You just need
I wouldn't
someone.
say that, AP. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't quite say that.
Nah, I think that.
I don't.
I mean, it's two different positions, but
Yeah, I would
but
not say that, bro. I would not.
he coming.
Do
I
not
say
boo
that he
boo.
coming. He
Do not
coming.
boo boo on
I'm
Tatum,
Jason.
man. Yeah, do
He
not boo
coming.
boo on Jason, man. Do not boo boo on Jason. I mean, he real like y'all act like
I
Tatum
think he's
ain't
a
that
better
dude.
situation player. I say that.
But don't. Okay, I give you that. I
He's
give
a
you
better
that.
situation player.
But don't boo boo on Tatum, man.
He tends to get them out of situations better more so than
Don't
Jason.
boo boo on Tatum because Tatum, he's a finisher, he's a shooter, he's a shot creator. He's like don't boo boo on Tatum, man. Don't boo boo on Tatum, man. The dude is that dude defensively. Like Tatum is that dude, man. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that, bro. Don't do that. For all you Tatum fans, man, don't do that, bro. Don't do that. For them
So
Tatum fans out there.
of course, last night, unfortunately, the
Them Steve
guard for the Indiana Pacers, Tyrese Halliburton, went down. In the game in which they played the New York Knicks. Actually fell to the New York Knicks by the score of 119 to 113. Halliburton is, of course, went down with an injury to the knee, in which he was seen walking off on crutches. So, of course,
Oh,
ideally, the thought is that he's probably not going to be back for a second if he left the court on crutches. It was a game, like I said, a 6-point loss, a game in which we seen Buddy Hield score 31 points on 8 rebounds.
what school he went to?
Benedict Mathurin, 20 points
This
and
dude,
6
yeah,
rebounds,
he
1
did not
assist.
want. But if it was some USC stuff, oh, he just threw all that USC alum. He just threw all that in there. But because old buddy came from Oklahoma,
Oklahoma
he don't want to get no
University
love.
alumnus Buddy Hield. 15 points, 3 rebounds, 7 assists for Tyrese Halliburton before he went out. Andrew Newhart, 11 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists. 14 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists for TJ McConnell. But for the Knicks, another outing for Jalen Brunson, who's starting to come to his own. 34 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists. 27 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 assists from RJ Barrett. 14 points, 16 rebounds for Julius Randle. 11 points, 5 rebounds, Emmanuel Quickly. Quentin Grimes with 18 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists on the night. Like I said, the Knicks with the win stay above 500 now, 23-19 on the year, tied with the Indiana Pacers at 23-19 as well. So those things are seemingly clicking for 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 both teams in a sense. Of course, the uh, Knicks getting the dub, they pull even with the Pacers in what they both teams are in the East. Additionally, last night the Atlanta Hawks played against the Milwaukee Bucks, in which again they were short because center um, Denmon was ejected in the game night before last versus the Miami Heat for because I guess he was an outburst and he slapped the massaging machine out someone's hand and it went onto the court during play. So he was ejected. He got ejected from the game
For
in
that?
which yeah, that's what I'm saying. He got ejected from the game for that, and then
That's a bit
uh,
much, I think.
court then coach well, he was upset because I guess he got pulled from the game and they was already short-handed. They only
Mm-hmm.
had 7 or 8 players and then he got ejected. We put them down to 6 or 7 players
Mm.
after that. So that after that they ended up so they did that and he was ejected from the game. So now he has been suspended from one game the by the
For that too?
by Atlanta. Yeah.
For the same thing. So he
Yeah,
got so he got
Atlanta,
he got
he
he
got
got
ejected from the game for that, and then he got suspended for one game
for
because
the
they said
same
it was
thing.
play. It was actions detrimental to the team. So
Oh my
he got suspended
God.
from the game for one game, in which that suspension is going to cost him $32,000 a game check. And
Like that feels like double jeopardy to me, bro. Like, good
so
lord.
here's the reason, but that's why I said they suspended him for actions detrimental to the team. That's what he got suspended for. They got in the league. I mean, the Atlanta Hawks contacted the league and made sure they were in the same page, and the league was approved it. I presume that the NFL, the NBA, PA may have approved it as well, or they're going to challenge. Appeal it, but I don't think so because he's not going to play tonight, basically. So yeah, he got suspended. Any case for the game, the Milwaukee Bucks. Victorious 114-105, led by Drew Holiday's 27 points, 4 rebounds, and 5 assists. Double from Brook Lopez, 20 points, 12 rebounds, and 1 assist. Giannis, 7 points, but he did
3?
contribute on the boards and in the assists, the playmaking with 18 rebounds and 10 assists to go along with his 7 points. Javon Carter, 13 points, 2 rebounds. A double from Bobby Portis with 13 points, 1 rebound, and 10 assists. Grayson had 6 points, 2 rebounds, and 2 assists. For the Atlanta Hawks, led by Bogdan Bogdanovic, 22 points, 3 rebounds, and 5 assists. In this actual game, it was a blowout. Like, they was getting smacked. The Hawks was getting smacked up,
Mm-hmm.
in which they actually came
Came
back. They
back.
made a run. They roared back. Like, it was like they came back. Of course, DeAndre Hunter as well, 16 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, 15 points, 7 rebounds, 1 assist from John Collins. 12 points, Jalen Johnson, 13 points from Frank Kaminsky. Like I said, because they was down by 20 points in the first quarter, outscored 39-13, then 26-27, and they just walked it in 22. Then they came back, scored 36 points in the third, and just couldn't hold on, which Milwaukee kind of like opened it up after that. Who said something? I know I just seen someone say something about it. Hold on, did LeBron throw something in the fans and nothing happened to him? The suspension is detrimental, also, isn't it? In a sense, kind of tailor made, but like I said, they're going to have more players because they was without a lot of players due to the injury, and then he got suspended. But I think they're going to come back and have more players to play. I think they have a game tonight, and then he Deadmon to be back for the run back against Miami. That when they play Miami on Friday, I think or Saturday, he's suspected back. So detriment. That's the name of the game. What? Three other games, of course. The Houston Rockets faced off against the Sacramento Kings, which the Kings gave them everything they can handle and some with a 20-point drubbing, 135-115. The Rockets tried free Trey Young. Trey is good where he at. The Rockets tried it as they were led by Keenan Martin Jr.'s 21 points, 5 rebounds, and 1 assist. 26 points from Jalen Green, three assists and 5 rebounds. Alperen Sengun with the triple-double, 10, 10, and 10 all across the board. And Eric Gordon, 19 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists. That's who you need to free, Eric Gordon. Jabari Smith Jr., 8 points, 9 rebounds. Garrison Matthew, 12 points, 2 rebounds, and 3 assists. However, the Kings were led by Domantas Sabonis, 25 points, 14 rebounds, and 9 assists. 24 points, 2 rebounds, and 9 assists from De'Aaron Fox. Sabonis was just 1 assist short of a triple-double. 20 points, 7 rebounds. Trey Lyles, Malik Monk, 11 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. 16 points apiece from Keegan Murray and Harrison Barnes. And lastly, 6 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists from Terrence Davis for the Kings' victory. Which they had a steady hand the whole night, scoring 31, 36, 27 to 41. They blew it open actually in the fourth with a scoring 41 points in the fourth quarter. Goodness gracious, 41 in the fourth quarter.
That's a lot.
How you allow someone
41?
I can understand 41 in maybe the first or the third, but 41,
you got 41 points at a half.
God,
41 in a quarter?
Goodness.
Good God.
The fourth quarter at that.
Is this 2K? Is this NBA 2K? That's what it sounds like, some 2K stuff right there. 41
Goodness gracious. 41 in the 31 and 41. 31 to 40. Oh yeah, they was romping
it. Yeah, they was feeling it. Man, that's a lot.
41 in the fourth quarter. They outscored them by 20 points in the fourth quarter alone.
That's a lot.
19 points technically. Like I said, the Sacramento Kings improved to 22 and 18 on the season. The Houston Rockets dropped 10 and 31. I just think it's a matter of time before they probably get rid of Steven Silas. I think you got to give them an opportunity to kind of like build a team. They putting pieces around them, young pieces, but it doesn't seem like anything is happening. And which it was just a couple of weeks ago. Eric Gordon was asked what asked about the improvements, and Eric Gordon was like, "What improvements?" So that doesn't look good from your veteran. And then it looks like then it starts to look like the veteran isn't standing up or isn't looking out for you. But yeah, that's unfortunate. 2 other games, of course, last night. Phoenix Suns throttled by the Denver Nuggets. Bishop, do you think? Bless you, brother.
Thank you.
Do you think Jokic is coming up on potentially
MVP?
Another one.
MVP, bro. Come on, man. This dude
Another
is
one.
leading, bro.
Another one.
And just like what's his name? What's his name?
DJ Khaled.
Another one.
All he did was win, no matter what.
DJ Khaled. Another one. This dude, man, this dude
special.
Bro, this dude is some
Jokic
serious,
is making it.
This dude
it's like,
and the thing is, remember where he used to be.
We didn't even know who this dude was.
That part. And he done
rattled off potentially 3 consecutive MVP. Last night, like I said, 126 to 97. The Suns tried it. Of course, Torrey Craig, their leading scorer, with 5 rebounds, 14 points, 9 rebounds, and 5 assists from Josh Okogie, 11 points apiece from Damian Lee and Jock Landale. Of course, Dario Saric contributed with 11 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. Craig, like we said, outscored. But for the Nuggets, Nikola Jokic, 21 points, 18 rebounds, 1 assist short of another triple-double. 21 points, 1 rebound, and 4 assists from Nashawn Bones Highland, as they call him. Zeke Naji, 15 points, 1 rebound, no assists, 12 points, 2 assists from Aaron Gordon. Michael Porter Jr. contributed 11 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist. Jamal Murray, 16 points, 2 rebounds, 6 assists. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, 15 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. Bruh, we might need to start. Denver is showing
talent, bro. They're showing talent.
I guess that wasn't even what I'm about to say, but that makes so much sense.
They're showing talent, bro. These boys is like
it ain't nothing he can do at this point,
bro.
Luka need help. He has to get help. He can't do it on his own. Luka shows that, you know what I'm saying? I think Luka shows he can probably be more than what Jokic is if he had help, but Luka ain't got no help. That's extending
Look at this boy in his face.
that's extending a lot.
In the face.
That's extending a lot. So I don't foresee anything it was Luka to do at this point.
Can't play no better D than
I
that.
don't think there's anything Luka could do to surpass.
Mm-mm.
So I mean, Luka's a dude. Like, don't get this twisted. Luka is that man, but if you ain't got help, it just shows that okay, I'm a man and I can do this. But Luka has no help. You
I'm a
see,
man,
Jokic has
Damon.
help.
I'm a man, Damon.
He fills up the basket. He gets, you know why he gets the triple doubles? Because he has help. Someone is dropping the ball off, or he shares the ball.
I'm a
Different
man,
mindsets.
Damon. This dude, man, I don't even know what to tell you, bro. Like,
he's walking, he's coasting, he's slowly dog walking the league to a third consecutive MVP candidacy.
Bro.
Out of nowhere, like you said, we there wasn't no one chucking for Luka for Nikola Jokic.
Nope.
Slowly but surely.
He is that dude.
Speaking of another man, Bishop.
Who's that?
Your boy out in Memphis.
Yeah. This is what. Yeah. That boy name you don't even call him John no more.
You guys put the emphasis.
Yeah, you just say yeah. That's all you can do, man. That dude, man. If y'all talk about y'all were talking about his athleticism the other day, bro. This dude, yeah. Don't get me wrong, they played the Spurs, but bruh, this young man too, just the way this dude plays the game, bro, is at a level unlike any other. One hand rebound put back by himself. One hand, bro. He's playing games with the.
Oh, that was a nice step.
Yeah, like, bro, like his name fits everything, bro.
So last night, the Spurs, led by Keldon Johnson, 24 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. Contribute from Trey Jones, 22 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. 14 points from Zach Collins, contributed with 12 rebounds, 4 assists. Josh Richardson, 12 points, 1 rebound, 5 assists. McDermott, 15 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. And hearing all this, you would think, oh, it was good. Jeremy Socon,
this is 11 points. This young man special, Trey. This was make this young man special.
Oh yeah, definitely. So in this situation,
special, bro.
So right here, what y'all seeing basically is Ja Morant. He's had a little girl. I had her name.
Mind you, his shoes just came out. These shoes that he's giving this young little girl.
So there's a backstory behind this, right? So there's a backstory behind this. So I want to make sure I get her name. What's her name? I had her name.
I might have it for you. Hold on, let me tell you. Let me see.
I know her last name is Hughes. She's 11 years old.
No, they don't have her name on here. They don't. I thought they did, but they don't have her name on
So basically, I just call her Miss Hughes. So Miss Hughes is 11 years old. She's an 11-year-old fan for 11-year-old Memphis Grizzlies fan. So what happened Monday when the Memphis Grizzlies played the San Antonio Spurs? After the game, she was trying to get Ja Morant's attention. In which she had a ball, right? She had a ball in which she had been collecting players' signatures on over the course of the last 6 years, in which 2 people snatched the ball and took it.
They stole her ball?
Yeah, they stole her ball. So they stole her ball. So what happened? And so it was in the process of what she was trying to get Ja Morant's signature on the ball, and she was trying to get his attention. And while she was trying to get his attention, the corporates took the ball, and which is, you know what I'm saying, that's grimy. What happened is Ja Morant got word of this. So what he did is he gave her his game worn jersey signature on it, game worn jersey, and he gave her his Ja ones, which have not been released to the public.
Oh, they ain't even been. They're not out yet.
They're not out. They're prototypes. They're his.
Oh,
So he gave.
those
So
are
he
worth.
took.
Those gonna be worth some
Yeah. So you know what I'm saying. So maybe if
money.
he put his signature
Did
in
he
those,
sign them? Did he
that
sign them too?
I would think, I don't know. Maybe after he gave them to her, they
Yeah,
probably
yeah,
called it. And
later,
he went and
yeah,
you know what
because they
I'm
don't
saying
show
went and
it here,
signed it
but
off.
yeah,
Yeah. So he did. So he don't sign.
that's
So
gonna
maybe
be
you know what
dope.
I'm saying that's love what you're gonna get because that's something
Man,
which she
shouts
can
out
put
to
up
John, man.
as opposed to you know what I'm saying that ball. But you know what I'm saying I don't know who was collected or who had signed her ball. Or who you know what I'm saying, so that could be something as well. But that's pretty grimy, man.
That
For
is
whoever
grimy.
whoever did that,
Nobody caught it. Like nobody caught it on.
I'm not sure. They probably searching for still or whatever case like that,
Oh
just in case.
my god! And this is what everybody's talking about right here.
I'm talking about
Oh,
he got yuck. He got him again.
ooh,
He talked about it in
boom.
the press conference.
Hotel. Yep.
Yeah, Paddle. Oh yeah, he got him again. Because
Oh my
remember he caught him last
god!
year. He caught him last year with uh at
That's
the
a.
end of the season. He got him last year, which basically blew it up. So I mean, he's talked about. He's like maybe last time he didn't get the memo.
Oh, you
Like
get me.
Ja is like savage
I'm gonna
with
use
it.
Stephen A. Smith's line. That's a bad man.
What's good,
Good
KG? What's going on,
God,
fam?
bro.
Yeah. So
Does he want to be on Jaws posters all the time or something? Is that what like? Like you say, he can get the memo.
he's like,
Obviously,
yeah. He said he sized him up. Basically, he's like he went and he's like he did something. He's seen how he moved. So he's like once he seen how he moved, he's like he got the 1-on-1. He
Mhm.
got him up one verse. He got him 1-on-1
He
in
want. So you saying
the
P wanted
switch.
some get back? Is that what you're saying? He wanted some
I,
get back from last
so
year.
basically,
That's what
I
it
guess
sounds like.
he sized him up. And when he sized him up, he's like he hit him with something, and he seen how he moved. So he's like when he hit him with it, he's like, oh yeah, I got him. And so that's when he got him, pulled it back in, brought it back in, and then met him at the rim. And he's like maybe maybe he didn't get the memo last time. In that, like I said, Ja Morant, 38 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 21 points, 12 rebounds, and 1 assist from Jared Jackson Jr.
Good
Like I
morning,
said,
Kevin.
Desmond Bain is back, 18 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 16 points, 3 assists from Tyus Jones. Dylan Brooks contributed with 7 points.
That's a
Steven
bad
Adams, a
man.
double, 11 points, 18 rebounds, 5 assists. Zaire Williams, 9 points and 1 assist on the night. Memphis, when clicking, seems to be problematic as well. They went off last night. 44 points in the first, 36 points in the second. Oh, well, correction, 32 points in the first, 44 points in the second, the 36 points in the third. But
He is so fast with the ball.
San Antonio did keep pace. And then, of course, San Antonio scored 32 points in the third. That put them close. They put them within the 7, but it just wasn't enough. As Memphis gets the win, 28-13, 13 and 29 on the year for the Spurs, 28-13 for the Memphis Grizzlies on the night, in which puts the Grizzlies at, let me see, they're second in the West. Actually, they're tied. They're tied with the Nuggets in the West, 28-13 apiece. Pelicans at the number 3.5 games back. Clippers are currently the 6th seed, holding on to that. They're basically a game in front of the Suns. As the Warriors are coming to, they're 8 games out of first place, 1 game from the 6th seed, so to getting out the play-in. The Lakers, of course, 9 games out of first place, just basically 2 games out of the 6th seed. So the West is actually pretty close. The Lakers aren't even in the play-in.
My question is,
they're within striking distance.
for you, Trey, is Memphis a team to be worried about? Because we talked
right
about
now, it looked like it, bro.
But see, they looked like that last year too. Remember?
True that.
And now again, it's almost on the same aspect of those Boston Celtics out the East. Well, let's talk about these Memphis Grizzlies out West. Are they a team to be contenders in the West?
I think in the West, yes. But I think if they went up against Boston right now, Boston would get another championship. Right now, I don't think Memphis is a team to beat Boston. Actually, I don't even know who would be the team to beat Boston in the West right now when I look at it.
There probably isn't one.
I think, you know
Not
what? I think
West.
there is. I think there is. I think it would be the Pelicans, but They
I
have to
was
have
gonna say
Zion.
New
They
Orleans,
have
but
to have
not without
Zion.
Zion. Not without
No,
Zion.
not
No,
because I
not
mean we
without
see what
Zion.
happened without Zion last
Yeah,
night. They just
yeah,
played him,
not
but
without Zion.
with
That's the only,
Zion,
yeah. It might. They might.
yeah,
But without Zion, no. Hell no.
nah,
Not possible. And that's about the only team.
yeah,
Memphis gonna give them a run now. Don't get me wrong. In
yeah,
a
but they
7-game
can't. They're not gonna
series,
keep pace. Yeah,
yeah, in the 7-game series, they probably would give Boston a run in a 7-game series. But yeah. And even the Pelicans, it'll be a good battle. But
yeah, but they
Zion
need
would definitely
Zion.
have to be
They
there.
need Zion.
Zion would definitely have to be there. It wouldn't be close without Zion.
Anthony, we was just saying that, which you're probably right. He's going to be the greatest player, another great player without a ring.
Without an NBA ring, another Charles Barkley.
But yeah,
Karl
yes,
Malone.
definitely, Bishop, like you saying, yeah, the Grizzlies, yeah,
Bro, they got talent. They showing you they a force.
what
They a
8-game
force.
win streak right now?
They a force. They coming into themselves right now. They're coming into themselves. They on their second win. Can they keep it? Is the question. Can they keep that second win? Can they keep everybody healthy?
So
Well, how many games we into the NBA
yeah,
series? Halfway yet?
Yeah, we're over halfway, but
Okay.
because next month is the All-Star game.
All-Star game. That's right. February.
But
Yeah.
right now they're at roughly 42 games, 43 games apiece, 41 games. So we're already getting ready. We're going to be past the halfway point soon. Then they're going to sit and rest, and then now what's going to be the test? What you was just saying, Bishop, is going to be what do these teams do? Do they pick up where they left off after the All-Star break, or do they have a little lapse? Do we see other teams make a push after the All-Star break? Like it's like
the season starts all over, doesn't it, Trey? After
that's a good
it's like it starts all over. It's like, okay, we did all of this before the NBA All-Star game. All right,
that was a test.
Season starts over.
Yeah,
let's
that
go.
was a taste.
It's time to make this run.
Now it's time. Yeah, it's like
okay,
you know, saying no more playing fellas. Let's go.
Yeah. And the thing is, where do you sit at the time you hit the All-Star break? Where are you sitting in the standings? Because
where would you want to sit? Would you want to be top or middle of the pack?
I don't know if
or
I want to be top.
Behind?
No, I don't want to be behind. I definitely don't want to be behind. But I don't want to be in the top either because everybody gunning for me at the top. I kind of want to be in the middle of the pack because I kind of want people to sleep on us, and then I just want to come out after the All-Star break. I want to come out running, sprinting, coming out the turn of the 100, the turn of the 200-meter. Yeah. Getting it. That's what I want to do. I don't want to be at the top. I definitely don't want to be able because we all know that's a hard fight coming from the bottom. You in the 9th, 10th, 11th seat, bruh. 9th ain't so bad because you only need one game, probably half a game or so to get in, but into the play-in. But if you below that, bro,
so additionally, in the NBA, of course, there's 2 players that should be returning. Of course, one being Cavs rookie Rubio, as he's been out a year after a torn ACL. Which he's been sitting out. Ricky Rubio actually, his role is going to be a little bit different because when he left, it was just him and what's his name? Darius Garland was just them initially, but of course, what ended up happening is they went and got Donovan Mitchell, so now they're the 1-2 punch. But Ricky Rubio is expected to get into the guard rotation. When he left, they were at 13. He was averaging 13 points and 6 rebounds, 6 assists. He was in the rotation. He actually had them on the winning streak, so he started what they did last year before he went out. Now they're currently still in the same situation. Now they look forward to adding him back. Chances are he's not going to be there. I mean, he's not going to be. He's going to be an intricate part. Of course, him and Donovan Mitchell played together in Utah, so Donovan Mitchell has played with him before. So that's a good thing. So they all talk about eyeing him coming back. Additionally, another player that's been out 2.5 years, Jonathan Isaac from the Orlando Magic, for the first time played last night in the G League as he looks to get suited back up to get back into with his brothers on the Magic main team. 2.5 years, Bishop. Man's been out the league for 2.5 years due to injuries. He hasn't played since 2020.
That's a long layoff. Wow. Because of injuries, that he's been out 2 years, all because of injuries.
Because of injuries, yeah.
Ooh,
he's been injured 2 years.
A long layoff.
That 2.5 years. And then, of course, in your neck of the woods, Bishop, the San Antonio Spurs look to set and break the NBA single game attendance record tomorrow night, as they host the Golden State Warriors. They're going to be, yeah, you're not going to be there.
Yeah,
They're going to be they're going to be playing at the Alamo Dome, and so yeah, they're going to play at the Alamo Dome.
Oh wow! Instead of AT&T Center.
Yeah, they're going to play at the Alamo Dome, in which that is going to give them. They already have sold what is considered to be a record 63,592 tickets. And which, if you include standing room only tickets, that can put them at a whopping 68,000 tickets total, which is currently the record for the largest crowd of an NBA season regular game. Was 62,046, which was broken by the Chicago Bulls as they played against the Atlanta Hawks in the Georgia Dome in 1998. What's good, Ron? But however,
what's going on, Ron?
However, the biggest selling out of a crowd for what is an NBA game was the All-Star game that was played at the Dallas Cowboys Stadium, which it was sold out 108,713 in attendance. So, but there's only been outside that All-Star game, there has only been 4 games that has sold more than 50,000 tickets. 2 of them was at the Detroit Pistons. One playing against the Philadelphia 76ers, the other against the Boston in the 88, and the other one was 87, and then the other one was the one that is currently the record for the Georgia Dome game, the Atlanta Hawks against the Chicago Bulls. So that's what they're looking for. 63,592 will set the record. Will set the record in attendance.
Wish I would have been there. Wish I would have been there for that.
You see, do we have any more? I think that's all for the NBA. Let's get into this.
Outside of the fact that we got some great matchups on tonight.
Oh yeah, there you go. That's what I meant to do. Go ahead.
We got the Boston Celtics visiting the no-having KD Nets tonight. That's gonna be a game as Kyrie tries to handle the Celtics. Jaylen Brown and that bad man Jason Tatum all by himself.
I think it should be said the other way around.
No, Kyrie has to do. He's got to carry the try.
No, I'm saying when you say it should be to handle Jason Tatum and that bad man Jaylen Brown.
No. Y'all gonna stop. Trey, stop.
That's not disrespect.
Tatum, bro. Y'all stop doing that. That dude is the truth. Stop boo-booing on Tatum, man.
Good. I don't take that away. I don't take that away. I'm just saying, man. Right now,
man.
God. So let's say like this, right? You have dubbed yourself the GOAT because of the picks, right? But this past season, Ron outpicked you by a couple of picks.
Facts.
So for this, you know what I'm saying, although you have dubbed yourself the GOAT, and that's the name you go by.
Hold on, but go ahead, finish. My fault.
If we call Ron the GOAT because he has, you know what I'm saying, he set up and dethroned you, it's not to take away from your self-proclaimed name, the GOAT, but now Ron is that person.
Okay, I got you. Totally understand. However, let's reel it in. Let's reel it in.
Okay.
I got a bite. He may have dethroned me through picks.
Yes.
However, who is the first formation fantasy football champion? It is me, the GOAT, who Ron was a part of, you yourself as well, so I can actually continue to keep the name because I took on the challenge of being the number one.
Technically,
I know.
There's an asterisk. You know how you try to play the Lakers, talking about the bubble game? There's an asterisk by that damn championship. There's a huge ass asterisk.
I knew he was going to do it. I knew it.
There's a huge asterisk by that name. Like, there's an asterisk by that because Coach Daniels was about to get in
You
your.
hope. We don't know what he was gonna do, y'all.
We're forever. We'll never know. I guess
We
we'll
will
never
never
know.
know. It's a
But
wish factor. It's a wish factor. So with that being said, I continue to hold the
it's a
name because of that
huge.
part.
Matter of fact, that's probably what the championship going to be, a big ass asterisk. It's going to be a trophy as a big ass asterisk. That's it.
Let's
Because
go.
I was like, look at this. When you look at this,
I
I
mean,
was
I'm
like,
not gonna
look
take
at
nothing
this.
from Jaylen Brown. The dude is balling. He's a great player, man. He's definitely an addition and he is the. I won't even call him the Robin of the Celtics. And Tatum, it's the Batman of the Batman. It's Batman and Batman, or you can say Batman and Superman, or Batman and the Hulk. Just the Hulk. I like that. The Hulk, because the Hulk is green. I like it. Tatum could be Batman and Brown could be Hulk. I'm just saying they complement each other. That's a great tandem over there. Them two. It's going to be a great game tonight. Then we have the Milwaukee Bucks visiting Tyler Hero and the Miami Heat. Yep, Jimmy Butler out there in Miami.
Jimmy Buckets.
Jimmy Buckets. And then the game probably of the night, we have Luka visiting them LA. No Anthony, no LeBron, Lakers. It probably gonna be a blowout. The Mavericks will probably blow out the Lakers, but we'll see. Lakers don't. They struggling right now.
Right now, I think they're going to be one of those second half teams to make a push late in the season. That's the hopes for it. Of course, like Bishop was saying, the three other Dames additionally. Oh my goodness, did you see Dame Dash caught a body the other night too?
No, I didn't catch
Oh
it.
yes.
He caught a body.
Oh yes, he caught Cole Anthony.
Ooh, Carl Anthony Towns, Big Cat.
No, not Carl Anthony. Cole Anthony.
Cole
the
Anthony.
guard,
I
the
thought
Cole
you were
Anthony from Greg Anthony's son.
talking-
He caught him in the paint and he jumped with him. So it was a body to body. It was a
Damian
body.
did it?
It was Damian Lillard. He caught it was a body to
God.
body joint and he caught him slipping. Oh,
It was
it was
bad.
nasty. Yeah, it was nasty. A flush.
It couldn't have been too bad. Nobody said I ain't heard nothing about it.
He caught him. Yeah, he caught him like Zach said. He caught him in the upper room. Yes, he went to the upper room.
Ooh, in the upper room.
Yeah, it was
bad.
took
It
him
was
up and
Dame
dropped
time?
him off.
It was
Dame time.
Oh,
And he ain't even talk. He just kind of like walked off.
he was humble about it.
Yes, very humble. But it was a flush. Oh my goodness. It was, you know what I'm saying? Just look at Dame dunks Cole Anthony in the search and you see it. I was like, it was nasty. It would probably be the dunk of the year.
Are you It was worse than
what we seen from Ja just now.
I was about to say it was worse than what Ja did?
Yes, because it was like body to body, like it was contested. It was clearly contested. You see it?
I found it. I found it. Oh my God.
Like Ron said, praise for Anthony.
Pray for him, y'all. Pray for him, y'all. Oh my God. Don't
Probably
do that. Why did these big dudes, they just know that this is about to be.
And then are they gonna do the show the close up? I hope they show the close up. Let me see if they show. Oh yeah, see, look,
you got Dame Dome. Damn it, you got. Oh my God.
Oh,
you had your hand all in his face and he still dunked on you.
And he lost the ball in the.
Yeah. Yeah, you on the front. Yep, you got posterized. People will be putting them on their wall. You are now a what do you call them things? People be putting on their wall. What do you call them?
What's a fat head?
Fat head. You are now a fat head. You are now on a fat head. Yeah, you're now on the fat head. But you was talking about the last three games, sir. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yes, of course you have. Oh, that's why I was scrolling because Trailblazers. I thought Dame. So of course the Trailblazers and the Cleveland Cavaliers, of course. And you know what?
Please don't show it.
What's his name? Got bunnies too. So we can probably catch. He might catch a body tonight. Donovan Mitchell.
We know he
could jump. He could jump as well. You have the 76ers and the Oklahoma City Thunder. And
Which
lastly,
didn't whatchamacallit have a good game last night? Embiid, Joe.
he didn't play last night. He had a good game the game before, the week
Oh, okay.
before,
Maybe it was the
the
game
day
before.
before.
Maybe I'm thinking
Yeah,
about the game before.
he had a
Okay,
good game the other night. And then lastly, the Toronto Raptors and the Orlando and the Charlotte Hornets will be playing as well to round out the 6 games for the night. It's finna start to ramp up. Definitely.
it is.
Um,
Was we lead into
just
the
a
All-Star
little
break, like he said.
Just a little, 30 days to the All-Star break, 30 days to the Super Bowl.
Woo! It's about to be on and popping.
In which, that being said,
let's get into this NFL.
Into the NFL. Of course, like I talked about at the top of the hour, I'm glad to see Darvin Hamlin is back with family back home. We talked about Peyton Hillis. Peyton Hillis kind of got overshadowed. The situation with Peyton Hillis got overshadowed by the Darvin Ham situation. But Peyton Hillis, like I said, prayers up to him as he recovers. He's currently off the ventilator.
That's the one got saved his kids, right?
Yeah. He's off the ventilator this morning or yesterday off the ventilator.
That's
so hopefully, you know what I'm saying, he continues to recover.
That's
unfortunate situation. Lung and kidney failure currently.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh.
See, that's why, you know what? If it was my kids, I can't swim, so
yeah, I heard about that. That's crazy. Lung and kidney failure.
Yeah,
man,
it's your own kids.
You gotta do it, bro.
I don't know. I have to still think. Well, Anyway, I would say something else, but we're on air.
Yeah. You see, just so y'all know, man, I need y'all to see this because this is why I can still rock the GOAT on my tag right here. Because I had Christian McCaffrey, I had AJ Brown, I had Jalen Hurts, and you see they're in the top 10 for players.
So what we're not going to do is act like that you didn't get your whistle. I didn't wet your whistle for McCaffrey for what's called it.
For who?
Because so yes, you might have had all them players, but you did not have them all in the same league. You had Jalen Hurts in the fraternity league.
That part.
You didn't have any quarterback in the league initially, and that's hence the reason how I was waiting your whistle to give you not Jalen Hurts. What's his name? Kyler Murray for Christian McCaffrey.
And now you see, and now I'm glad he said that. I am glad he said that. Now you see why I would not have taken that trade. Because where is Kyler Murray? He pretty much stayed hurt the entire season. And look at where Christmas McCaffrey. That would have been the dumbest trade I would have made if I'd have made that trade.
I would have liked it.
I know you would have, but as you can see, I wanted to pinpoint that. I wanted to show y'all some trades may sound good, look good, but in the long run, they aren't good. Just wanted to let y'all know that, though. But continue, my sir.
So, interesting enough, first off,
that's why you said CMC comeback player? I still don't think he's a comeback player, AP. Yeah. I don't think so. But go ahead, Trey. My bad. I don't see that.
Oh, no, you good. So, first and foremost, let's go here, right? Because it's so many places we can start. Let's start here with what is prevalent right now, the coaching carousel. So, of course, some things I want to point out first, right? There's a total of 7 teams that have Trey asking how he got that. Oh, that's what Donovan asked yesterday. He's like, how did Oklahoma get the receiver from Michigan? He's like, what y'all
go to Oklahoma?
Yeah,
bro, I don't know. I saw that this morning.
He's like, what y'all do? He's like, what y'all
I don't know.
Look like over there?
I don't know. I saw that this morning.
I woke up. I came into the comments. He had already put it in the comments. He's trying to make sure we see him. He's like, yo, we got to address this.
I saw that this morning after I came from the gym. And I was like, no. Now we just got to get rid of that quarterback and we'll be all right. But go ahead, Trey. My bad.
He's like, yeah. So that's what Donovan. He's like, hey, ask that. He came, but that was in the comments. I was like, damn. I'm already. He's like coming to the door. There's already people at the door. I was like, dang, Donovan, that was on your mind, huh? He's like, wait. He's like.
I'll take it.
He's like, what they got? He's like, what they got over there for NILs in
Oklahoma? I know, right? We'll take it.
So
We'll
of
take.
course, like I said, coming in, there's a large spectrum of things going on when it comes
Oh,
to
the coaching
coaches.
carousel.
Yeah,
Mm.
coaching carousel. 7 teams that have even coaches or some type of coach that is needed, and all of them are the same. So we go over a couple of them. Of course, the first being the GMs and the coaching interviews. So currently, the Arizona Cardinals are the first ones who have a coaching and a GM position open.
Available.
So far, they have interviewed or requested to interview Sean Payton, because they have to request
Interview because
through
he's
the
still on
Saints.
contract with the Saints.
He's
Correct.
still a contract with the Saints, so of course the Saints are going to get something out of this
A
if it
pick
does
9 times
happen.
out of 10 they're talking
Yeah,
about
some
out of
picks
the
and
pick.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
So currently, Sean Payton is
And Arizona has one pick. They said. What we said the
Arizona
other day.
is,
They in the
I
top
think,
5, ain't they?
no, not the top five. They in the top 10, I think.
Okay. But go ahead.
So Arizona has requested to interview Sean Payton for the head coaching position.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Additionally, they have scheduled to interview Ian Cunningham, the Bears' assistant general manager, for the general manager position. They have completed uh, interviews with Adrian Wilson, who is the VP of VP of Personnel Operations with the Cardinals. Jerry Reese, who is a former Giants general manager, and also completed Quentin Harris, who is the Cardinals VP of player personnel with the Cardinals, and Monty Ossenfort, the Titans director of player personnel, they have requested to interview. So they're doing their due diligence. Of course, we know the Rooney Rule serves, and as well as the NFL and the NFLPA rule
I thought so, Trey. The
is that
Cardinals got the 3rd pick, bro.
third pick. They the third pick. Oh,
Yeah, they got
whoa.
the 3rd pick. I
Okay.
thought so. I knew they was in the top 5. I could have swore they was. But go
So
ahead. I'm sorry.
they oh no, you good. So that entails that they have to interview at least 2 candidates of minority or minority candidates, whether it be man or woman, 2 candidates, of course, and then and the general manager, they have to interview 2 candidates as well, minority, whether it be of race, or gender. Um,
Mm.
for the Carolina Panthers, Jim Caldwell, former Lions and Colts head coach,
With the
um,
9th pick in
has
the
been
draft.
they have the 9th pick.
They
Okay,
have the 9th pick.
Jim Caldwell has been interviewed already for the head coaching position for the Cardinals. Steve Wilkes has had an interview, so he may get to remove the interim tag. Shane Steinich, the Eagles offensive coordinator, is scheduled.
Yeah, I heard
Is
about
that
that.
is that going to be a detriment if y'all lose him?
Our defensive coordinator,
Offensive.
offensive. No, you know what? No,
No,
because I don't like.
y'all have
I
somebody
don't.
in waiting.
No, well, not that. I don't.
You don't
If
like
he's
his. You
off,
don't like
I
it.
don't like his calls.
Okay.
His play calling. So I'm cool with that.
Ken Dorsey, Bills offensive coordinator, has been requested for the interview. Ben Johnson, the Lions offensive coordinator, is currently scheduled. Mike Kafka, Giants offensive coordinator, has been requested. Kellen Moore,
Oh wow.
offensive coordinator, has been requested. And Frank Reich, former Colts head coach,
Yep.
has interviewed as well. I I don't know. That might be the move. Him or
Right
Wilkes,
there,
I
Frank
think.
Wright. Yeah,
Yeah,
that might
Frank
be it
Reich
right
or
there.
Wilkes. For the Cleveland Browns, they have defensive coordinator openings, which Sean Desai, the Seahawks associate head coach of defense, has been requested. They completed a interview with Jim Schwartz, the Titans senior defensive assistant. Jared Mayo, the Patriots linebacker coach, is requested, and Brian Flores, currently the Steelers senior defensive assistant and former Miami head coach, has been requested to interview in Cleveland. So now it's not just a black coach, Anthony. It's any one of
In
any
ethnicity.
minority or
Yeah, ethnicity.
yeah. For the Denver for the Denver job, Denver head coach David Shaw, the Stanford University head coach, has completed the interview. He just interviewed. Jim Caldwell, additionally, also scheduled to interview. As we just said, he's in interview or a scheduled interview for the Carolina Panthers one. So if you look at this, in my opinion, look at the trend. Ehiro Evero, the Broncos defensive coordinator in house, has interviewed. Jim Harbaugh, the University of
Mm.
Michigan head coach, has interviewed.
For Denver?
Raheem Morris, yes, for Denver. Raheem Morris, the Rams defensive coordinator, is scheduled to interview. Sean Payton scheduled to interview. DeMarco Ryans, defensive coordinator for the 49ers, is scheduled has been requested. Dan Quinn, the Cowboys defensive coordinator, has been requested. So Denver putting it out there.
Pulling all stops to allow somebody to come in here and coach Russell Wilson.
For the Houston Texans, interesting. Jonathan Gannon, the Eagles defensive coordinator, is requested. Ben Johnson, Lions offensive coordinator, scheduled currently.
Second pick in the NFL draft.
Mike Kafka, defensive Lions offensive coordinator, has been requested. Sean Payton has been requested. D'Amico Ryans has been requested. Shane Steinich, the offensive coordinator. So both y'all defensive and offensive coordinator.
Hey, our record shows.
Don't you dare! Don't do that.
Our record shows.
Don't do that.
He want that record, baby. Just saying.
He's scheduled. Steinich is scheduled already. Then, of course, a couple more. Indianapolis coach, you had Ehiro Evero. He's scheduled to interview. Aaron Glenn has been requested. Stain Shanek, so that's 3 jobs in which Shane is up for or scheduled to interview.
Probably gonna get one of them.
Bubba Ventrone, coach special teams coordinator, he's completed an interview. Jeff Saturday, interim coach? But they haven't said if he's interviewed or if he's going to interview or anything like that. Raheem Morris, the Rams defensive coordinator, is scheduled as well. And for, of course, the Tennessee Titans, Malik Boyd, Bill's senior director of personnel, has requested for the general manager position. He's been requesting. Rand Carthon, the 49ers director of players personnel, has been requested. Glenn Cook, the Browns assistant GM and VP of players operation, requested. Ryan Cowden, the Titans VP of players personnel, scheduled. Ian Cunningham requested. Quentin Harris, the Cardinals VP, is requested. And Monty Austinfort, the Titans director of players personnel, has been scheduled.
Of course, have the 11th pick in the upcoming draft.
The Titans do.
Yep, they have the 11th pick.
So what's interesting, bruh?
Did you know? Did you know the Houston Texans has the 2nd and the 12th pick?
Yeah, they have 2 picks. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ooh. So Cliff Kingsbury has been fired from the head coaching position in Arizona. It's the opening. Defensive coordinator Phil Snow and head coach Matt Rule was fired from the Carolina Panthers, which currently was held by interim coach Mr. Wilkes, in which he has interviewed for the position already. The Cleveland Browns fired Joe Woods as their coordinator. Nathaniel Hackett was fired as the head coach of the Denver Broncos in the first year. He went 4-11 and he got fired. He even completed the whole season. Lovie Smith was recently fired by the Houston Texans. That's for a second stint of a coach getting fired for that organization within the year. Indianapolis head coach Frank Reich was fired, and the offensive coordinator Marcus Brady was fired. General manager John Robinson and offensive coordinator Tal Downing was fired for the Tennessee Titans. And yesterday, offensive coordinator Scott Turner was fired. Technically, the day before yesterday, Scott Turner was fired. Yesterday, Mike LaFleur was fired from the New York Jets. In which it said it was that was mutual, they said.
Yeah.
Because they feel like he's going to have an opportunity to catch on somewhere else. Or they said he parted ways as well. Offensive coordinator Liam Cohen has left the Los Angeles Rams, just like Mike LaFleur. So they're not. So they say they parted ways. They was fired. They parted ways.
Okay.
Ron said the Titans are taking a quarterback most definitely in the first with that
draft?
pick. Yeah.
Well, let me show you what Dan Orlovsky put out as his QB power ranking, his quarterback power ranking, and tell me if you agree with this, Trey. I really want you to pay attention. There's 32 teams. I really want you to pay attention to number 13.
Number 13 is Dak Prescott.
Number 13.
Brock Purdy. I'm sorry. So what are you saying, Bishop? I think this is leading to a conversation we was having yesterday.
It's not gonna leave. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it. I'm just gonna leave it at that. That's all. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm just leaving it at that. Entering the playoffs, this is who Dan Orlovsky has as their QB power ranking.
Entering
I
the
agree
playoffs,
with
correct.
this. Yes,
14. But so this is what it's
this
saying.
is only,
See,
and there's
Brock
32
Purdy
teams.
is no, because it was 14 because this is for the playoffs.
Full
So that's
playoffs,
why it's only
right.
That's why it's only 14.
Right.
So what you see is like you, and this actually could segment into our next topic, right?
Okay.
What we see right here from what Bishop put up in reference to Daniel Larski off the ESPN's Get Up has reference as his quarterbacks. These are 14 quarterbacks presumably that are in the playoffs this year. Now, this is a couple of things I think we can take from this.
Okay.
One, he said number 6 Lamar, like Anthony Price. Number 6 Lamar Jackson.
Because
Lamar Jackson is not going to play. He's not playing this week.
yeah,
So
they ruled him out, but I think this is before they ruled him out. I'm sure that
Okay.
he came up with this, and this is why he had him
because
at number
currently
6.
what you potentially have is their undrafted rookie potentially can start because Huntley is scheduled to start, but he may not. So Huntley might not make it. They might have to go with Anthony Brown. So first of all, we look at it. You have Patrick Mahomes, of course, number 2. Joe Burrow, number 2. Mahomes, number 1. Burrow, number 2. Allen, number 3. Hurts, number 4. Number 5, Justin Herbert, who probably could be number 1. Lamar Jackson, but he's not currently going to start. So Lamar Huntley is actually, Huntley is the starter for the for the Cleveland, for the Baltimore Ravens. Tom Brady, Daniel Jones, Trevor Lawrence, Geno Smith, Kirk Cousins, Dak Prescott, Brock Purdy, Skylar Thompson. So when you look at this list, right, you have 1, 2, 3 players on this list are third string players.
Oops, my bad. I'm sorry.
Oh, you good? 3 players, third string would have been at the beginning of the year with third string quarterbacks.
Okay.
3 teams.
Okay.
I have Skylar Thompson, he's going to get because what's his name? Teddy Bridgewater is has a dislocated pinky on his throwing hand, so he's in out. Unfortunately, Tua, they're going to rule him out because he still hasn't, which is good.
Has been cleared by the doctor.
I think he needs to sit out the rest of the season.
Yeah, they haven't cleared him by the doctor yet.
Yeah, I think Tua, just to be, for a health standpoint, it's unfortunate, but he probably needs to sit out the rest of the season. He probably doesn't need to come back or wait a while longer. If they can last and get to the Super Bowl, then that's when he needs to come back. Brock Purdy. Self-explanatory, but yeah, third string. Lost Trey Lance, Jimmy G comes in. He gets lost to the same thing: a broken leg, a broken foot. Brock Purdy has been doing his job. Number 13 up the list. And then, I know Donovan said something about Geno Smith. Geno Smith started at the beginning of the year, even though he was just last year he was just a backup. But Geno Smith started. And then, of course, Skylar Thompson. And then we go over to Lamar Jackson.
Right.
Which is unfortunate because Baltimore has to play the first game without the Lamar Jackson. Brock Purdy has to play first game on Saturday versus the Seattle Seahawks. So he fights off against Geno Smith, in which we'll see, what the ranking after that once he's left. Something else. I'm just saying. I mean, I guess after I thought about it after I said it, I was like, I'm just gonna let it ride. But yeah, so it would be messed up.
Yeah, it would be very jacked up, bro.
Yeah,
bring it back.
So you telling me if Skylar Thompson caught lightning in the bottle and got to the Super Bowl, you're going to continue to start Tyler Thompson?
So let me flip it. So you mean to tell me you're gonna keep Brock Purdy in as a starter if y'all go to the Super Bowl and Garoppolo,
Jimmy come back,
Jimmy or Trey, you gonna start Brock Purdy?
I'll be completely honest with you.
Go ahead, Trey. Go ahead, Trey. Go ahead. I'm listening.
I'll be completely honest with you. Jimmy, I will let start. Trey got to continue to sit. Trey got to continue to sit. I can understand because I can look at it because it's two different types of people. So I can see getting Jimmy because you have Brock as the backup. But
But why not
I don't
Trey?
know if I want Trey at the.
Okay, so say
at the,
let's flip it then. Say Jimmy can't come back. He's still hurt, but Trey is able to come back.
keep rolling with the high hand.
Oh, Trey! No, you
Keep
did
rolling
not.
with the high hand.
Trey, you are something else, bro.
Keep
You
rolling
are
with the hot
something
hand.
else. Your tour gets gonna cook on. He's done out the league. Proof facts. I truly believe that too. Trey, you are something else, dude.
I'm
As
just
much
saying.
as
I'm
I
just
was
being
talking
honest.
about Brock Purdy and how he should be the starter next year and all of this good stuff.
No, so I don't think he should be started next year.
Bro, this dude.
I don't think the Super Bowl this year earns him a chance to start next year. I just don't think that.
Man, this dude, man.
And you think that really? Y'all think that?
Yes.
If Brock Purdy, if
everybody,
Brock Purdy,
the 7 people that's on here, do y'all think the way Brock has went 5-0 thus far and has completely put have taken the San Francisco 49ers and put them in a great position to be able to make a run for the Super Bowl? Do y'all not feel like Brock Purdy should be said to be the starting quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers next season? No. After what we've seen him do so far? And we'll wait. We'll continue talking, but we'll wait. I want to know.
Think so.
Should
I
Trey
think
Lance
should go back? Yeah, Trey Lance should come
be
in
the starter over Brock Purdy?
Trey Lance, I'm not going. So that's what I will say. Trey Lance shouldn't be the starter. It should be able to compete. They should be able to compete amongst each other.
I think, but I feel like Brock Purdy, his resume speaks for itself. If you go back,
so let's say they don't.
If you go back to Trey Lance, you're crazy. See,
let's say
Trey
Lance. let's say that Brock Purdy doesn't win the Super Bowl.
Okay, still take it. He's still, bro.
That's what I was about to ask. You think he's still? I don't think he's still. He hasn't earned.
I still say he starts. He
was a third string for a reason.
Every third string isn't a bad quarterback. Aren't we looking at? He's a third string right now. He was third string.
He was a third string. He's a starter now, but he was a third string.
But at a third string, what has he done? 5-0.
5-0.
As a third string.
5-0.
Here we go. Done. If Purdy wins the Super Bowl, Trey, all your quarterbacks are on the way out of Frisco. Trey, you smoking?
I don't smoke. I don't drink.
Trey, you smoke. I'm just saying, man. I don't know how do you bench this dude, especially if he goes even deeper into the playoff. You gotta roll with Brock. Thank you, Ron. I don't know what Trey had. I think. Let me tell y'all, man. I think what it is. I think it's because Trey has the name Trey.
What's today?
I think it's because Trey has the name Trey. And
today is January 12th.
Right,
Bishop. You know what that means?
Thank you, Zach. That's exactly what I'm telling you. I've been saying the same thing.
Bishop, you know what? Although this is not a specifically black show, it happens to have African Americans that host the show, or whatever case like that. But Bishop, we are 19 days from Black History Month.
Okay.
Watch your tone. But real talk. The reason, like I say, for the reason that Zach says is the reason why I say that's why Brock doesn't start right off the rip, because Trey hasn't shown anything yet. He hasn't had the opportunity to.
But Brock has. That's my whole point.
I get that, but Brock is a third string quarterback that is currently the starter due to the fact of the two prior to him are injured. But they didn't get benched.
I got you, but does this?
It's not the same thing that was going on in New York with the Jets and Zach Wilson.
I got you, but does that not question your judgment in regards to why you had him as a third stringer? Because what could he?
I can see that.
Let me ask you this: What possibly could Trey do better than what Brock is already doing outside of losing the game? Because Brock has won everything. Huh?
He's a mobile quarterback. He's a two.
But does mobile quarterbacks?
It doesn't matter. Yeah, I'm saying that's one of the things he brings. So right. it makes a sense if that's what your offense is built around.
Okay, I mean, I get that. Get your hands out of my pocket. I'm just saying.
So that's the reason I say that for the most part is in state is we haven't seen what Trey can do. He's played a total of 8 games.
Okay.
Right?
Got you.
Technically they say he's 4-4 in them 8 games. He's 4-4 in them 8 games.
Okay.
But we haven't seen him. He was 2 games into the regular season. They were 0-2. I mean, he got knocked off the second game in which they lost that game. They started out 0-2. Jimmy Garoppolo comes in. He wins a couple of games. He loses a game. Then he goes in. Then he goes on a 5-game win streak. He gets knocked off. Brock Purdy comes in. He goes on a 5-game win streak.
Another Josh.
Now, you know what I'm saying? Stop it, Donovan. But you know what I'm saying? So basically that's where it's at. Like that's the only reason I'm saying that, because Trey Lance hasn't had an opportunity. And we ain't give up all them down draft picks for Trey Lance to sit the bench.
Y'all may have.
We may have, yes, true.
Y'all may have. Because Brock Purdy, again, when it's all said and done, Trey, it goes back to my initial question. Are we not somewhat questioning the coaching staff on why Brock Purdy is third string? Because this is, again, when it's all said and done.
You know why he's third string?
Because I'm assuming because Garoppolo was the number one.
That's the only reason. Yeah. No. He was third string because Garoppolo was there. Like Trey Lance was going to be the starter. Garoppolo wasn't even supposed to be in the
right, because in the
picture.
Beginning of the season,
yeah, he was supposed to. They were trying to trade him.
Right.
Unless they would have traded. So had they had traded for another player. I mean, Garoppolo probably was going to get traded before the draft, so that way they could have knew what they was going after. And so maybe Garoppolo would have got traded. They would have used that draft pick, but Garoppolo went through the surgery that delayed it, and then he ran it back. He put himself in position, a hell of a good position, to where I think Garoppolo's good no matter what. Whether he comes back or however he goes, Garoppolo's good. He's going to have a job next year somewhere.
Right.
But he's not going to be in San Francisco because now with Brock Purdy, Trey Lance is a lot. That'll be a lot of controversy. So he's not going to be in San Francisco.
So let me ask you this then, Trey. And I'm y'all all hearing, all 70, all y'all listen. Don, Ron, Anthony, Price, Zach. If you had an opportunity, you're the head coach, you're the general manager. Do you keep Garoppolo over Trey, or you run with Trey? Garoppolo's back. He comes back. He gets a clean bill of health. Do you go with Brock, or do you go with Jimmy G, or you try and stick it out? You try Trey Lance out as the starter. Still keeping Brock, because we seen what Brock has done and what he's doing. Do you stay? Do you stay loyal to Jimmy G, or do you bring on the rookie, second, third year rookie, and allow him to take over the team?
So just like Ron said, basically the San Francisco 49ers have rich people problems, in which they truly do, in my opinion. So this is why I say that, right? Because chances are, Jimmy G, first and foremost, in the current situation, Jimmy G he's basically a free agent. He's going to be a free agent this year.
Facts.
So we can't trade him because he's not going to be on our books. It's his last year. So Jimmy G. Now, can we re-sign Jimmy G? We can re-sign Jimmy G potentially, but right. But we have to sign him because he's a free agent. We're not signing him off of. We have to sign him. He's on repeat.
Right, but do you have to necessarily give him big bucks?
Yeah,
you don't have.
Who's coming back? You won't have to give him big bucks.
Okay, let me ask you this.
He's gonna go anywhere else. He's gonna go and get big bucks. So yeah, you have to give him big bucks, because now he's no longer a player that you can sit up and extend. He's
when I say big bucks, okay, let me read.
We're not resetting the market with him.
Okay, that's what. Thank you.
He's not resetting the market. Jimmy G is not going to reset the market. There we go. So
Jimmy G and Purdy, Lance will be traded for a first. There you go. That's what I want to hear, Don. That's my take right there. What Don just said. That right there. That's what I would do.
What is going on? In my opinion, like I said, Trey Lance hasn't showed anything. So who is let's be honest, right?
But
how many people was about to jump? We might have jumped
that rich. What did Ron say?
Rich people problems.
You get rid of them rich people problems when you do.
So
that.
What we got to keep in mind is who was checking for Trey Lance initially? Is Trey Lance half of the 49ers not drafted Trey Lance? Would Trey Lance have been a first round draft pick? Even
if the 49ers hadn't gone for
if the 49ers hadn't got him, they might have reached for, you know what I'm saying, they probably should have went after Justin. But you know what I'm saying, but in any case, we didn't get Justin. So if we would he have been a first round draft pick? Maybe not. So that was already reached. So that goes back to what Donovan was saying. the first round, there's no trading for a first round draft pick for Trey Lance at this point. He hasn't shown. It has to be completely someone sees it as upside. There's not a third round. You're not getting a first round draft pick for Trey Lance. So that's one thing you have to take in consideration. Now, earlier, what Ron said is keep the youngins. Maybe keep the youngins. And what you have, definitely keep Brock Purdy. So in this scenario, Brock Purdy, without a doubt, becomes the second string quarterback at minimum.
For sure. Right, for sure.
Now it becomes what the problem becomes is, do you keep Jimmy Garoppolo and sign him and pay out the yin yang to keep him on? Or do you go ahead and roll the dice and go with Trey Lance and let Jimmy walk out, and then you have money to potentially bring on other players, and then you have Brock Purdy that comes in presumably the second string with the opportunity to compete for the first string.
Well, let me put it to you like, let me do this. Let me add this scenario for you, Trey. Mm-hmm. Mind you, y'all. So let's look at it like this. Y'all with this season, y'all come up short to the Super Bowl. Y'all make it to the last game and y'all lose the last game.
Another game, yeah. Another
lose to the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. Now we already know what Ron just said about rich people problems. Mm-hmm. You see what's in the you kind of sort of see what's about to come up in the 2023 draft. Mm-hmm. You see what what your team has. You know y'all have added CMC. You know that Debo is about to be healthy after the offseason. You know all these things. You know your defense probably have the defensive player of the year coming in what's his name?
Bosa,
Nick Bosa. You know your defense is playing well. What possibly could y'all need? Or let me ask you, what possibly could y'all need, or what do you feel the 49ers need coming up in this upcoming season or upcoming draft? Looking at what you have right now, I know Jimmy G is in the air, it's dangling. We know his contract and all of that. He's a free agent. What possibly, seeing what you have currently, do y'all need, or you feel y'all should pick coming out in this upcoming 2023 draft?
In my opinion, we need DBs, running back.
With CMC, why y'all need a running back?
We got to expel him. We got Elijah Mitchell and CMC, but they also are injury prone.
Okay, so you looking at it as a back. Okay, yeah. Got you.
I think if I was to say if I was to go at the 5 positions, it would be running back, wide receiver, defensive back, offensive lineman, and a kicker.
And here we go with the kicker nonsense.
We need a kicker.
and do y'all have a first round pick? Or y'all lost it?
We lost it. We traded it for Trey Lance.
I traded first round pick to the. Okay, yes. Okay. I just wanted to trade the first round pick to the minute. Okay. I just wanted to make sure. I didn't think y'all did, but I was making sure. So Ron says offensive weapons, which I'm assuming he's talking about a wide receiver or so.
We got offensive weapons. Like we got a wide receiver. I mean, it don't hurt to add another wide receiver, but that wide receiver wouldn't be my first choice.
Right.
It would be like in the top first 5 rounds, wide receiver would be a choice, but it wouldn't be my first choice, not for us. You know what I'm saying? I think we're good at wide receiver from a standpoint. If we're running back, we are a running back by committee offense. It just so happened we have CMC. So that just strengthens the room, but we are a running back by committee. That has what has been over the course. We traded away our running backs, but technically it would just be one running back, and that would be a late round between the top 5. Of course, we know offensive. What is slowly but surely becoming a commodity, a high commodity, is linemen. And if you got someone that's, you know what I'm saying, if you can book in, if I can book in to Trent Williams, then you want that. And then if you got someone that's dominant at the center or one of them guard positions, then you know what I'm saying, you're golden to have an offense. So that way, someone like CMC or Elijah Mitchell or you know what I'm saying, Hastings, whoever is opening up, Debo, they're sit up and bang and they're knocking it out. That becomes a problem. And then you finish it up by giving us another defensive tackle. To put on that line, someone to put on the opposite side of Nick, and someone, you know what I'm saying, additionally another person that make problems to cause to be able to cover in the from a DB one standpoint, we're golden. Yeah, we already got a top 3 defense. That solidifies it.
Okay. Just wondering, how do you improve the most stacked team?
You keep
That's why I asked. That's why I asked. Because
your injuries happen. Because think what happened to us 2 years ago. Our whole defense got depleted. No, Debo signed. He resigned. Our whole
Yeah,
our
he
whole
resigned.
our
Yeah, he
whole
was
defense got depleted a year ago by injuries. We was like it was problems. And then
right.
of course, what I'm saying, it makes a difference. If your defense ain't helping nobody, then your offense got to do a lot. And that's how Jimmy Garoppolo ended up getting hurt because he was running. Like how you saying my man was like Dugan, how Dugan was getting chased the other night.
Running
That's
from the
how
line.
that was Jimmy Garoppolo a couple of
Yeah,
years ago. Like
right,
they had like our offense. That's why we had to pay that money to go get Trent Williams.
right, right, right.
Or what I'm saying, or was he was I think he was in, so it was a whole problem. So and then we came back the next year when it looked depleted and we started to get everyone back when we made a difference. This year it was looking a little dismal. The offense was looking suspect. Who resuscitated our offense? CMC.
CMC.
Now he's a whole different monster, and like you just said earlier, Debo ain't even played really yet.
Yeah. Not with CMC being there. No, he's been out for the most part. Yeah.
Brandon Ayuk has came into the fold. Like he's a problem. Like you can't now. You got to pick your poison. CMC, Brandon Ayuk, or Debo Samuels, or and what's his name? Since Brock Purdy took the helm,
Right.
George Kittle has been reemerged. So now in my opinion, the San Francisco 49ers are looking like the Kansas City Chiefs of the NFC with a third string quarterback.
Which
So
is crazy.
I like
Which
the
is
odds
mad.
of whatever case like that. I guess we some of the other stuff we had, which because it's going to be something very interesting. I know you want to talk about because I got these dream matchups in which they're going to talk about. So that's going to be popping off tomorrow. We got our picks for tomorrow. Ron already sent his picks for the playoffs. So
Oh wow.
our postseason picks.
Oh,
So we'll
jumping
be
the
able to
gun,
talk
huh?
about that. Yeah,
Okay.
there's some interesting picks. He got some interesting ones on there. I don't know if I can rock with him on that. I got to sit and think about it. But of course, we have that's coming up. We'll talk about these games, the Brooklyn Nets, and all these type of games from yesterday. So basically, telling us Niners winning the chip. That's what I'm telling you, Ron. We're bringing it back to the NFC West. But it's like I said, it's some interesting in the
Basically,
matchups.
oh my gosh.
We see Carr said goodbye to the Raiders fan base today.
Did he?
Yeah, so I don't know. He said goodbye.
Ooh,
I don't know what's going on. So you know what I'm saying? If that's the case, enter another person. Now Carr, Garoppolo, you know what I'm saying? Baker Mayfield. It's starting to get interesting.
Going over to Las Vegas. Ooh, that might be.
Garoppolo to Vegas? Nah, I don't think.
No. Yeah, Garoppolo to Vegas. Yeah. Or yeah.
I think Garoppolo might go to Houston.
Oh, they could use him.
So, you know what I'm saying? We got all that going on. So, tomorrow should be a pretty good topic and chatting it up and getting in instead of talking about it. Yeah, it should be going down. It definitely should be some good information or whatever case like that. But yes, Ron, I that's a good point. I think it's a double-edged sword for me, man, because I have to take a look at like Brock, even though he's playing good. Now you're left with the top teams in the NFL. It's not just, you know what I'm saying, here it's the top teams in the NFL.
Right.
So we'll see. He said back to New England. So yeah, so greatly y'all hear the music in the background. So y'all know what that means. It's that time. Greatly appreciate y'all rocking with us today. Of course, we continue to keep an eye on the Dana White situation to see how that goes down, and see how that fares up. And all the rest of the stuff across the NFL, NBA. We should talk about tomorrow morning. The Lakers getting the dub. We'll see.
We'll see. Versus the Luka Doncic.
Y'all know where to catch us every Fridays, Monday through Friday, 09 to 1100 hours, Central Standard Time, right here. Talking that stuff. Favorite vets on the net. Bishop, any last words before you get up out of here, bro?
Hey, man, y'all enjoy this Thursday, man. This Friday Eve. Have fun with it. Be safe. A hug on your loved ones. Be safe out there. Have a great Thursday. And like he said, we'll see you tomorrow on First Formation. Y'all be easy. Y'all be safe. Cyro 5 Military Fraternity Incorporated.